Hi, it's Jonathan here, and today I am going to discuss, is online RTT, online hypnotherapy, as effective as in-person RTT or hypnotherapy sessions? Now, this is a question I get asked a lot, and it's obviously something that became very pertinent during the pandemic when we were all shifting to working on Zoom or on similar platforms. But can you get the same experience working online as you can in person? And of course, the answer is it depends. And I'm going to talk you through the various factors that you need to think about when you're deciding if you should see somebody in person or whether you should see somebody online. So let me first of all talk through what are the reasons, what are the benefits for doing a session in person. So first one is, for some people, they simply feel more comfortable seeing their therapist in person. And I find this is less and less common, but for certain people, quite often for more senior people, older people, they do generally just feel more comfortable seeing somebody in person. They like to be there face to face with you. Maybe they're not comfortable with the technology. They worry about that. And really, the way I look at it is, if people are more comfortable face to face, then it's good to do it face to face. The second reason why it may be beneficial to do a session in person is when somebody needs to get out of their environment. So if I've got a client who is in an environment which is really not a good place to be, maybe their home environment, maybe that is a big part of the issue, the people they're with or the environment that they're in. It's good to get them out of that home environment into my practice, into my office, get them away to a place where they feel they can talk more easily, more comfortably. But maybe they don't feel comfortable, maybe even don't feel safe in their own home. Then clearly it is better to see people face to face. And I think the third area is, for some therapists, for some particular areas, maybe particularly if you're dealing with things like physical pain, some RTT therapists may be building in an element of touch into the work they do, maybe touching people on their hands, on their head as part of it. A lot of hypnotherapists have traditionally done that. So if you're working on kind of healing related things, physical issues, yeah, that can be quite helpful, adding that touch element into a session. However, I think since the pandemic, I think generally a lot of therapists and a lot of clients probably don't feel comfortable with the idea that you're going to be having any kind of physical contact. So I think that is a lot less common now. I think that is a lot less common for people to feel comfortable, either the therapist or the client feeling comfortable with doing that. So those are really the three key reasons that I see why you'd want to do an in-person session. Now, let me talk about the benefits of doing an online session. And a real big one here is, I'm a huge believer in this, that it's more important to get the right person than to simply get the person who's most local, most convenient for you. And living in this connected digital age that we do, looking on Google, going online very quickly, we can find the right person for us. And this is particularly important if we've got something in particular that we need help with. Maybe if it's stop smoking, maybe it's weight loss, you can probably find plenty of people who are local for you. But if you've got something a bit more specialist going on, you want to find the person who is specialist in that, wherever they are in the world. And clearly by doing that on Zoom, you can find somebody who'd be on the other side of the world who is the person with the specialist skills that you need. So there's a huge advantage of finding the right person. But it doesn't just have to be with specialisms. Quite often finding the right person is about the person you feel most comfortable with. Do you want a man? Do you want a woman? Do you want someone who's had that shared life experience, as opposed to just somebody who can work in that area? So really it's about connecting the right client with the right therapist, going to the person who's best, or certainly who's right for you, regardless of where they are. So I think that's hugely, hugely important. And as I talked earlier about why it's maybe better to see people in person, about it being more comfortable, actually the opposite applies as well, because a lot of people actually would be far more comfortable doing therapy from the comfort of their own home, from their bedroom, from their lounge, from their office. A lot of people, would feel much more comfortable, particularly if people are anxious. It's quite a big deal to get in your car, go to a different place, sit in a room with a therapist who you've just met, so you're just getting to know. It's actually a lot more comfortable to be in your home environment. So actually a lot of people may open up, may be much more receptive, much more quickly, being in the comfort of their own home than sitting in front of you in a new, unfamiliar environment, plus possibly anxiety over the travel and getting to see you. So that is a big benefit of working online as well. And sort of allied to that, the third benefit is time. So a big part of RTT is about getting people where they want to get to quickly. And therapy, one of the big issues of traditional talking therapies is going every week, not just the being there, but the travel time, the time it takes out of your day. So working online, doing an RTT session, you don't have to take out a whole half a day or even a whole day if you've got to travel a big distance. You can do it conveniently, just fit around your schedule. So there's a big time saving of being able to do things online from the comfort of your own home without that anxiety of, am I going to get stuck in traffic? Is the train going to run on time? Can I find where the person is? So all in all, those things build up to having a more relaxed client in front of you to work with. If people are having to travel, if people are worrying about going to a new place, about seeing someone unfamiliar in person, that could build up a lot of anxiety, which creates barriers. The fourth point is about it all depends on your therapist as well. What's your therapist, the person you're thinking of working with, most familiar with? Some therapists don't like working online. They want to see people face to face. Maybe they're not very familiar with it. Maybe they just don't like it. Maybe they feel more comfortable in person. So clearly, ask them, do they feel comfortable working online? Can they get the same results working online? Some therapists prefer to work online. They prefer doing that. They feel more comfortable themselves doing that. They maybe don't want to see people face to face. So, a lot of therapists, particularly people starting up, maybe working from home. Maybe they don't want people in their home. So, what does the therapist like to do? What are they most comfortable with doing? From my own perspective, because I've been working with clients nationally and globally for a long time, I've been working with people online and in person. And in fact, I'm now more used to seeing people online than in person. I like doing a bit of a mixture of both. But for me, I'm very, very comfortable doing it online. For me, it's more about connecting with the right people rather than worrying about where they are. It just takes away that challenge. So that is the key. That really is the key thing for me. But when I'm talking to people, my personal view is I can get the same results online as I can in person. And I will only say to people, you need to see me face to face if I feel they need to get out of their environment. They don't feel comfortable there. For me, that is the only reason I'd say you need to see me face to face. If people want to see me face to face, great, we can arrange that. But in terms of need to do, I don't see any benefit of having in-person sessions unless people don't feel comfortable in their environment. So I hope you found that really interesting. And if you found this video useful, please do like me, follow me, share me, and get alerted to more hopefully interesting videos on RTT, hypnotherapy, and all things mindset. Thanks for listening.